Hey, how's it going? My name is Seth. I'm one of the co-founders of RealtyFlow. I built the application from scratch, and my co-founder is Dustin, who actually owns a real estate brokerage in Delaware. He has about 60 agents, and we fully onboarded them into the platform this year, which was a huge accomplishment. They're in there every day, adding contracts. So broad level, RealtyFlow aims to be the number one all-in-one solution for brokerage management. So we want to make it as easy as possible for real estate agents to take a property as soon as it goes under contract, manage it from that point until settlement, make it as easy and streamlined as possible for them so they can focus on the most important thing for them, which is nurturing the client relationships and ensuring that the buyer or the seller of the house stays on board until all the way through closing. So yeah, with that, I'm going to walk through a typical flow of an agent inputting a contract, the admins or brokers of the brokerage seeing that a new property was created, assigning a closing coordinator, and then pretty much closing the property out, and just tracking metrics and things like that. So without further ado, I will get into it. So I'm going to log in now into my email for my agent. So I'm going to come here and let's go to my agent, which is this one, log in. As soon as the agent logs in, it'll take them to their dashboard profile page. Brief overview from top to bottom. So you have your navigation over here with various things. We'll get into these tabs in a bit. A search bar for searching through different metrics, dark light mode toggle, help, notifications, and then your standard log out, profile, different things. So on this page, we have their basic info for the user, join date, various metrics, their goal for the year, which is taken into account down here, which I'll go into. We have their overall statistics, so just metrics that they like to track of the total volume of houses that they've sold or are pending, gross income, net income, average sale price of a house, average GCI, average net income. So these are all metrics that I've worked with Dustin on just the top things that realtors really want to keep track of. So we have that, and then we have a heat map, which they really love, of pretty much all your properties that you, for whatever these settings are, where these properties are located geographically. So moving over, we have the settings. You can do net income, gross income or volume. The net income is pretty much, I'll start with gross income. Gross income is when, you sell the house, you just have the sale price of the house and the commission. That's total commission. And then the net income, it takes whatever the cut that the brokerage has off of that. So this is what the actual agent is getting, like their actual take-home money. And then the volume is just the sale price of the house. So as you can see, the graph updates based on that. So this is volume, gross income, and it'll update your goals accordingly based on, local statistics of when it's more like a more popular time to buy or whatnot. And then it keeps track of your pending, failed, and then closed would be green. And then you can change between pending, closed, and failed for all these different metrics. So if I do pending, it will show all the pending properties in here. If I go to closed, it's going to switch to closed properties. And then if I go to failed, obviously failed properties. And I'll go into the admin, like overall company dashboard, which you'll be able to see a little bit more. Then you have current year, previous year, you see some closed, and then next year. So it's just a 3-year time frame. Anything more than that would be overkill because you're not going to go under contract and then close 2 years later. It just doesn't happen. So then we have the graph that I was showing. So I'll go back to current year, and you can just see your pending, closed, failed. So, real estate agents, it's not a typical 9-to-5 job. You have all these different properties. It's kind of like a freelancer. So you don't really know when you're going to get paid and different stuff. So it's rather than having all these different spreadsheets, it just aggregates all your contracts in one spot. You can just come in here and say, oh, 30-day gross income, not going to be having any income. So it promotes them to constantly be putting things into the app and actually want to use it because it's going to project their financial health going forward. And then we have upcoming closings to keep track of different dates, and then recent closings, which are ones that just closed. So if you click on one of these, it'll take you to the actual information page of that property, which you can just see all the metrics. And I'm going to go through how to actually input one of these very shortly. Then we have a calendar down here just to see important dates. So we've got like scheduled closing date, and it's going to put in inspection info when it goes under contract, various dates, and we're in the process of linking this to Google Calendar, so it can be like a two-way sync between the two. And then you have the agent on here, obviously, and then you can view like the different documents, and yeah, pretty self-explanatory. And then if we go over here, we've got the clients for that agent, vendors, we've got attorneys, co-ops, and lenders. I don't think I have lenders in here. Yeah, and you can add any new features. So I'll add a new co-op here. I'll do test co-op and test co-op at example.com. Created, and it's in there. Okay, and you can edit it obviously or delete it. So I think, yeah, without further ado, I will create a new contract. So I'm going to go to the properties, do a new contract, and then it's just a nice, easy multi-step form based on the different pieces that the brokerage needs in order to create a contract and then close it out. So first, property info. So this is just geographical location. Just put in some dummy data. I'm going to do a zip code that's near where the other ones are, because we have the Google API in here. So it geocodes this zip code and turns it into Latin long and throws it onto the heat map. And then unit type, buyer listing. I'll say I'm representing the buyer on this transaction. And then the sale price, residency status. This is just information that is needed. Pretty much the minimum information needed for a contract. So I'm just going to go through these, and then agent info. So referral fee amount, I'll say it's a percentage commission. So I'll say it's a 3% commission. It's going to auto calculate the gross commission. You can say if you're an agent or not, and say at least one agent's required. So I'll say my split's 30, and then I'll add another agent to this. And I'll just put this one, I guess. I'm not sure. Yeah, and then I'll just do 30. So it's going to real-time update the splits for the agent. So if I change this, it's going to update the gross commission, total net commission, and then the split each agent gets. So I'll put that back to 3. And then I'll go to client info. So I can, like any of these forms, I can add a new one right away. So it's nice and convenient on this drop down. So I'll do add new. I'll do test company, and I'll do, I don't know, test client. This might already be a name in there, but client at example.com, and phone number 410-479 something. Great. Okay, good to go. And you can add more clients if you need to. I'm just gonna do one. Contract info. So this is where we actually put in the dates of the projected closing. So I'm gonna say this property, I'll put it far out so we can see it on the graph. 27th. EMD amount. I'll say no, it hasn't been paid, and it just automatically recognizes your inputs and will prompt you for fields as necessary, making it nice and seamless for the agent. Mortgage application complete. No, we'll say the 14th. Mortgage commitment, we'll say the, 18th. I'm just adding these so we can see it on the calendar. And last I'll do this one. Okay, then we'll say financing, we'll do conventional, admin fee 500, and we'll say the agent is paying for this. Let's go to third party. no attorneys. Here's that co-op I entered, so I can enter him. And I'll just do test lender, inspection info. So I'll just do a few of these just so we can see them. I'll do this one. I'll say this one is complete. This one's not. I'll say this is, I don't know, 15th. And then I'll put 26, and we'll say these aren't applicable. And then additional info, we've got lead sources. So I'm gonna add a new one. I'll say Zillow. Create, auto populates, and then we've got contract docs and disclosures and additional docs. These are the three main categories of documents that are needed. So you can either drag and drop or select. I'm going to select, go to documents, put in a dummy PDF, and I'll do another dummy PDF for additional docs. And then you can do additional notes that aren't captured in the other parts of the form. This is a new contract. And then submit. Takes 1 second to load, and then property added, and we got a nice little confetti in the background too. Just for a little, you know, a little dopamine loop to be, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, it makes it fun to use. There we go. So now we can see we have a new property in there, and we can see that under here, under reviewed, it hasn't been reviewed, which means just the agent has input it. It hasn't been reviewed by the next tier up in the roles of the application. So the next roll up would be an admin as a closing coordinator, and then the one above that would be a broker. So the broker is going to get notified when a new contract comes in, because they're the ones that manage all the financials and just the overall management of the brokerage. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to my email, which is here. And I can see that since I'm an admin, this is my admin email, I can go in here and see, a new property has been added for my company. And then I can look at here and see the address, who submitted it. And then I can just click right here, review and approve. It's going to take me, I'm logged in as the user right now. So I need to go back, and I'm going to log out and in as the admin account. I'm going to log in with Google. I only have one attached to this Chrome, so it just auto sends me in. So I'm going to come back here, review and approve. It's going to take me right to this property contract. I can look in here, add everything, and make sure it's good. Add, remove, pretty much the same as the input form, but I can do it. It's all combined here, and I can jump to different sections. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to add a closing coordinator. So this property came in. Now I'm going to assign it to a closing coordinator. So I'm going to assign Seth admin, and then I'm going to say, they forgot the septic inspection. So I'm going to add a date for that, and I'm going to say that's the 25th. And I'm going to say, okay, everything else is good. And I'm going to approve this contract. Property successfully updated, continue. And I can come here and I can see, we got a closing coordinator now and the two agents, which is the user input. And then you can see on here, I have all the dates that we put in. So we've got home inspection, different things, scheduled closing. And again, we're going to link this to Google Calendar, so it's super easy to sync between the two. Okay, so at this point in time, the broker has reviewed the contract and they've assigned a closing coordinator. So they're basically handing it off to the closing coordinator. They're the ones that take care of making sure the property successfully goes from under contract all the way to settlement, and it closes and you actually realize these commissions. So once that happens, once the broker does that approval and assigns an admin, that admin's notified via email. So I'm going to go over to my other Chrome session, which is logged in as, or not yet, but it's logged in as the admin. Hopefully you're staying with me. This is the admin profile. They got an email saying you've been assigned as closing coordinator for a new contract. That's the one we had. View it, and it's gonna pop me in there to the actual property, and they can get a brief rundown of everything, all the basic stats. They can view the documents that the real estate agent uploaded. We didn't do that one yet. See all the dates, and again, we're gonna sync this so they can easily see it in Google Calendar as well. Yeah, so then they can manage it here. So I'm gonna log out of I'm gonna assume now that the property's closed. So I'm gonna come in, and it's as simple as just, you go to the contract info, just update it to closed, automatically comes in as, or the input pops up for the actual closing date, and I'll say close today. And then I will update, successfully updated, and then, yep, closed. So now I'm gonna log out of here, and I'm gonna go back to the broker. So this is like the top level besides the owner, but they pretty much have the same view capabilities, the top of the role. So I'm gonna go to the overall dashboard. So this is the overall dashboard. This sums up the entire company. So remember the user, it looks like this. They've got some metrics here and there, but the overall company still has the 30, 60, 90, this 90 day. This aggregates all the real estate agents in the company, combines them all. Same thing, you can do gross, net income, volume compared to the overall company goals, which you set in the company tab here. So along with this, we have some other useful things like the agent leaderboard. You can see which of your agents is doing the most sales, and these all update based on the value, and they're sorted highest to lowest. You can see same with the heat map, pending, closed, failed, or pending and closed, current year, basically the same stuff, but it's just all aggregated. You can see top lead sources, and we eventually want to expand this so you can sort of drag and drop different ones, add other widgets, customize this to whatever suits your business the best. Make it as simple as possible for the brokerage to manage all these contracts. And then they can go in and see all the different users. So users can't see other users because it's very competitive within the real estate industry. So they can only see their own dashboard or application, if you will, that just has them in it with their properties. So it's like an application for them, but then also they can't see other users in there. So they can't see other agents and other agents' clients and different things. There's no cross-pollination. But if you're a broker owner or, have the higher admin capabilities, then you can see everybody. Okay, so that about wraps up the demo of the current state of the application. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out via email and let me know, and I'd be happy to hop on a call with you or go into things in more detail. Hopefully it all made sense. So that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.